this is the third time since the Ashton Review recommendations were accepted by the government in principle that we have tested their resolve to implement freedom of information application to greyhound racing in this state in practice. In principle, doesn't help the dogs. In principle, doesn't really mean anything. And I would perhaps suggest voters might vote for the Labor Party next time in the election in principle, perhaps put their votes somewhere else if they actually want action on animal welfare in this state. I seek leave, Mr President, at this point, noting that the time is short, to table a document called Further Reported Concerns at the Angle Park Veterinary Clinic.
It's leave granted, leave is granted. The Honourable Franks.
Thank you, Mr President. I won't belabour the point, but this is the sort of document that would be revealed through freedom of information requests to GRSA, and particularly impacting not just the practices, the unethical, the bullying, the unhygienic, the cruel practices of this industry, but also the bullying of staff at the Greyhound as Pets program, which is lauded, of course, by the government and by GRSA as somehow the good part of this industry. Well, these documents will prove that that tale is a fantasy and that freedom of information restrictions on this industry have no place in this parliament. I hope that the government will take on board again and again that they have been lied to by this industry, that everything has been cleaned up. It has not. Previously, Premier Malinauskas was quite incensed that he had been lied to by this industry, and that is in fact what sparked in the end the Ashton Review. That Ashton Review confirmed what many have said in the animal welfare sector for many decades, that this is an industry that doesn't deserve a social licence. It's been given 2 years to clean up its act by the Ashton Review. That was accepted in principle by the Malinauskas government. The GIRI, the Greyhound Industry Reform Inspector, was indeed appointed in May, as the Honourable Dennis Hood reflects, but did not start until July, as the Honourable Connie Benares noted. And in fact, that gets us well beyond the next election period. Just tidily, that 2-year clock did not start ticking in December 2023. It did not start ticking in Easter 2024. It only started ticking in July 2024, which of course gets us well beyond the next state election. So as I say, I hope voters support the Labor Party's position on greyhound racing in principle at the ballot booth and actually vote for politicians who will do something about the animal welfare needs of this state and actually make Labor keep their promises for a change. I will be dividing on this, Mr President, because I think the people of South Australia need to see that when Minister Hildyard then, because we're now 3 ministers into this particular portfolio under the regime of the GIRI, and Premier Malinauskas in December 2023 did a massive press conference and pledged that they would accept all of the recommendations and ensure that they were implemented. This is the third chance that the Malinauskas government has had a chance to vote on implementing what is the AJP recommendation number 13, which was accepted by Mr Ashton, that is, amend freedom of information legislation to ensure that there are no exemptions applicable to the racing industry. This will be the third time that the Malinauskas government will have breached that promise to the people of South Australia, and we want to see the numbers in the Hansard recorded to reflect that.